One of the key differences from cyclocross to other forms of cycling is that you're forced to get off and run with your bike.
Well, that's something you just don't do on the road, is it? Unless, of course, you count the 1994 Tour L'Avenir, when I had to get off at some roadworks and clamber out of a deep hole. But apart from that, no, you're right.
No, well, this is something you'll probably have to tackle every race, not just once every 20 years. Now, it's not a difficult skill to master, but you do need to know how to do it the right way.
Well, should we start with the dismount first then?
Absolutely. The aim of the dismount is to get off your bike and then seamlessly start running. The key thing, like all things in cyclocross, is to conserve your momentum. You've got to work hard to build up speed, and therefore you need to bear it in mind when you're getting off your bike. You want to practice this technique on a flat stretch of grass so that there's nothing to avoid or stop for. Adjust your speed so that you're riding a little bit above walking pace. Most riders get off on the left side of the bike so they can then carry it with the chainrings facing away from them. Hold your handlebars on the brake hoods or on the drops. On the tops you'll have no way of controlling your speed, and the narrow hand position isn't quite as stable. Put your left pedal in the 6 o'clock position and transfer your weight onto it. Unclip your right foot and swing your leg around the back of the bike, and then step through between your left leg and the frame. This means that you'll hit the ground in a running position, so you can then end up dismounting at faster speeds. Standing over on one pedal should feel really stable and comfortable, right? You can just cruise around like this to get comfortable. Next, take your right hand and place it on the top tube, putting weight through it and then unweighting your left foot. Unclip this left foot so that your weight is then temporarily supported on your hands, giving you just a little bit more time to touch the ground with your right foot and start running. Your right hand is then also in the correct position to lift your bike either seamlessly onto your shoulder or just lift it up to clear the barriers. The only thing that you really got to look out for is unclipping that left foot and then stepping through with your right. If you're riding in muddy conditions, then often the release in your pedals just gets a little bit hit and miss. So taking that weight through your right hand on the top tube just gives you that little bit more time to get that right foot down and the left foot unclipped, so that if it is a little bit stuck, and I know you do struggle sometimes with clipping and unclipping, this will help that a lot. Now, you should never push a cross bike along the ground, you should always lift it. If it's just for a short period of time, just lifting it like that's absolutely fine. For anything longer, it's worth popping it on your shoulder. Now, to do that, grab the down tube around 3/4 of the way up and then just lift it onto your shoulder like that. Then slide your hand underneath and grab the drops there, and then that's really secure and you can run like that, no problem. Putting the bike down is then just a case of reversing the process, popping it on the ground. You don't want to drop the bike, you just want to place it so you maintain control at all times. And once you've got those dialed, it's then time to start thinking about the remount. Okay, so first of all, you want to be holding bars on the hoods or on the tops.
Okay.
To learn, I think we'll do it on the tops. It makes it a little bit easier. Basically, you don't want to jump back onto your bike. Even when you're running, it should feel like more of a slide. So you start simply by bringing your right leg over the back of the bike, and then you sort of step over it, and you want to land on the top of your thigh.
So that's inner thigh part,
that's really important, is to land on the top of your thigh. And then your momentum from running just puts you back in the seat, and away you go. You slide across. Now, ultimately, we're going to do it from running, but to learn, I think the important thing is to do it from stationary. And so it's just simply a case of pushing off with this left foot and then just kind of going for it, really. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So we've had a look at all the component parts of getting on and getting off the bike. I guess it's going to take me a bit of time to get it pretty polished, but I guess I also need to sew it all together as well.
Absolutely, you've got to practice ultimately with these things. It does take time to get the skills dialed and to get it smooth, and you also can't forget that if you're going to get on and off your bike, there has to be a purpose for it as well. So in short, you want to be off your bike and running for the shortest amount of time possible. However, the later you leave it before the obstacle, the harder it gets. As a rough guide, around 4 strides before and after the obstacle is about the maximum you want to leave it, and ideally it's as short as 2. Sometimes, however, after the obstacle, you might not actually be able to get straight back on. It just depends on your speed and the terrain. It might be quicker, therefore, to carry on running for a little bit longer and then jump back on later. As a golden rule, if it's slower to ride than it is to run, perhaps you want to consider running as your option. Real top guys use running as a viable alternative to riding, mainly because the process of getting on and off is so slick, they don't actually lose any time at all. Anywhere they're slowing down, they jump off and they run. It's tough, but it's worth trying to incorporate bits of that into your riding as well.
For more GCN cyclocross videos, click on me.